Hello everyone, I'm super thrilled today. I have with me a very talented Indian actor, a celebrated DJ, an animal activist, a fitness influencer, and a tree lover. So he's got so many feathers to his hat, and I'm super thrilled to have him with me in this new episode. We're talking about the one and only Mr. Ashmit Patel. Hi Ashmit, it's so good to see you and to have you with me in this new episode. Um, to begin with, I would like to, start a little bit on your early life. What got you into acting? Did you want to always be an actor? Did you do also some sort of an acting course, or like all the parents, they want you to be an engineer, a doctor, or different kinds of fields, but acting is pure talent, and there is something, it's more creative side of things. So, was that an always a journey that you wanted to do?
Absolutely, you're absolutely right. The Indian parent mindset is always doctor, engineer. If you're from a business family
Right.
and you're the son, especially if you're the only son like me, then you're basically, it's ingrained in you from day one that you are going to take over the family business from your father and, inherited all of that. So all of my education, everything was geared towards that. My dad was a businessman, an entrepreneur. So, yeah, the idea was that once I graduate, join the family business, which is exactly what I did after I graduated from America. I did my undergrad over there. I didn't even get a chance to work there because my dad was like, come back immediately, join the family business. So I was pretty much working from Monday to Friday in our factory in Nasik. Saturdays, I'd come back to the Bombay office, work there, and then Sundays were off. Monday morning, back to Nasik. Yeah, so that was my life for 6 months, and I realized that this is not something that I'm geared to do. It's not. I wasn't enjoying it, so I joined an investment bank. I worked with them for a bit. Was successful, making money, all of that. But again, being in a closed space, four walls, watching a monitor all day, stock prices, this, that, graphs. It was just not my thing. And concurrently, my sister was, of course, already in film. She'd Kaho Na Pyar had already released. I'd experienced being on a set through her, but acting was never in my purview. I never even thought it was an option because, as like I was saying, coming from a business family, you never think that you can do anything other than your family business. So that's when I was dissatisfied with what I was doing, and experiencing the film world, seeing how films were actually made. I had an insight into it through her, through my sister. I actually got very interested in the process of filmmaking. And that's when I went up to my dad one day and I was like, I want to be an actor. I want to see if I can act, and I want to join an acting class. So he was okay. He said, just make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. Your sister's seen success in her first few films. The first film was a super hit. Second was even bigger.
Yeah.
Uh, he said that 90% of films fail, more than that. You know that. So I said, yeah, I absolutely know that. I'm doing it because I find the process very creative and I want to explore it. I'm not sure as yet. I want to do an acting course, see if I can act. And if I feel like I'm good enough, then I'll pursue it. So that's exactly what I did. I took a 6 month acting course with Professor Roshan Taneja
Okay.
and did pretty well. According to him, I had the tools that are required to be an actor. Mrs. Jaya Bachchan was our judge in the final, skits that we put up on graduation day. She really liked my work. When I got my graduation certificate from her, she didn't know who I was. She didn't know. I mean, I didn't tell anyone that I'm Amisha's brother or anything.
Okay.
But she was very complimentary, and that gave me a lot of, I guess, motivation to pursue acting because I felt like, if she, coming from someone like her, and of course, Professor Roshan Taneja, who's the Bap of acting, teachers, they both were very, uh, uh, I guess, encouraging. And I took the leap. That's how it happened.
Also, I want to know, there are a lot of obstacles and challenges which one faces in the entertainment industry. If your movie is a big hit, you're on a different level. But if it does not do well in the box office, you feel like the entire world is after you. So, how do you, and in those times also, how do you stay humble? How do you stay grounded? And what is your mindset, during those difficult times? What is it like to you then?
Well, I think my nurturing has a lot to do with it. I come from a family where we've been taught very strong values. My father is one of the most humble people I've met. He's achieved so much on his own. His father, my grandfather, Patel, was one of the most prominent personalities in India, let alone just Maharashtra. So coming from that lineage, he was still so. He's always so grounded, so humble, self-made man. He didn't take a single rupee from my grandfather, but started a business on his own at a very young age. He was the largest manufacturer of audiomagnetic tape in India. So the values that were instilled in me from a young age, even my mom was a very strict disciplinarian, uh, always taught us the value of hard work. And I think that helped me in good stead. Of course, when you're going through a down phases, and the film industry, like you correctly said, is very challenging. There's a lot of competition everywhere, but in the film world, especially 20 years ago, there was no OTT. The film work was limited. All the way, the largest producers of films in the world. But even so, there's just a few, there's a small percentage of good films with good producers and directors. So you have literally hundreds of thousands of people vying for those few films and few parts. So the competition is fierce, and it can take a toll on you when your films don't work. I won't lie. I was a young boy when my first film didn't do well. Uh, Thankfully, my second film, Murder, was a super hit, even though none of us, other than Malika, really got much credit for it, but it still opened up doors for me and the
Yeah.
ball had started rolling. But concurrently, there were other things happening which took away the joy from having a hit film. But I think all these experiences, and especially failure, teaches you the most. And I and a lot of people who have achieved a lot in life always believe that failures are only failures if you don't learn from them.
Right.
Any other so-called experience, if you learn from it, is an experience. It's not a failure. So
Right.
I'm thankful for all the down phases. That teaches you the most, and you get to enjoy the highs, but not also get too egotistical about it and proud of it, and lose yourself in the matrix of things when you're successful. So I think, and I've seen more downs than I've seen up. So I'm yeah, I'm very thankful for it. I've had a lot of learnings. I guess I my for my soul involvement, I needed a lot of failures to evolve.
You know what? Even I think, music being a very nice therapy. A lot of people go towards music, when they are down, they have stressful lives, and you've taken it as a profession as well. You become a celebrated DJ. What made you shift from acting towards that field?
So it was in 2014. I had done this film with Salman Bhai called Jai Ho. And I had decided that, post the release of the film, no matter how it does, I'm going to be patient and not just sign on anything that comes my way, because there's this tendency in the film industry when you're doing a big film or you have a big film release, people come to you uh, with good offers in terms of the financial aspect of it, but the content is not always what you would probably be wanting to do. So it's tempting because the monies are big, and then you kind of get excited and make wrong decisions. So I decided that I wouldn't do anything unless my heart was 100% into something. I was, convinced 19-20 we would not do. वो चलेगा चलो कर लेते हैं. But that thing I said I'm not going to do. And yeah, so for almost 6 months, I said no to everything. And the creative bug in me was very uneasy because I wanted to do something. I wanted to be creative. So I was just hanging with a friend one day. He'd come over to my place, and he's a percussionist and a DJ. I was just chatting with him. And I was like, I want to DJ too. I've always had this love for music since I was a kid. I was always exploring new music. My cousins from London would always bring me the latest releases. So I was always updated with the new music. Luckily, I had family living abroad. So I got exposed to music. There was no internet at that time. So obviously, there's no way of knowing what the latest music is other than MTV. I used to go to Goa to the raves. I really got into psytrance music. I saw the DJs there playing for huge crowds. And whilst everybody in the audience is having a great time, I always wondered, what would the DJ be feeling? What is the feeling of him making so many thousands of people happy, making them dance, literally to his tunes? I said, oh, one day I'll be a DJ. I want to experience what a DJ experiences. So I told my friend I want to DJ. I've always had this childhood dream of, teenage dream of being a DJ. He said, trauma, and I'll teach you. So we went out uh, that day itself. I bought myself a mini DJ controller for the starting level, really small, compact, cheap one. Uh, and within a couple of days, he taught me the basics. I picked it up quite easily. I had musical beats in me. I, understand beats and timing, and timing is the foundation of DJing, and that's how it took off. And friends obviously rallied around me when they knew that I was DJing, and helped me get my first gig. Actually, I'm in Goa right now, and my first gig ever was a techno gig here in Goa in 2014, and that's how it all started.
Nice one. That's very inspiring, actually. It's not easy to shift from one profession to the other. And, you've also not only these two, but, you've also been into fitness. I think that, you've been into fitness for such a long time. And today's time, I think just looking good is not everything, but how you feel from inside, that is more important, in terms of, especially, I think COVID has all taught all of us, especially in terms of the immunity one needs to build. And I feel
Absolutely.
the youth of today also, they are getting inclined towards fitness. So you being such a big fitness influencer, what is that one message you'd like to give the youth, in terms of fitness and the right kind of health benefits for them to, succeed in life?
This it's such a vast subject, and there's so much I can say about it, but I'll try to keep it as brief as
Yeah.
possible. Two, three main things that I'll touch upon is firstly, do it the natural way. Put in the hard work. Today, a lot of shortcuts are available in terms of supplementation, which is legal, illegal. Try to keep it as natural as possible. Uh, Trainers are going to misguide you. Do your own research. You have uh, an ocean of knowledge out there. Just Google the pros and cons of everything and anything that people suggest to you. Do your own research and then take supplements. Because today I've seen kids, especially with social media, the pressures
Mm.
so much to look good, to look a certain way, that people are trying to take shortcuts. You're not putting in the hard work like we
Yeah.
did back in the day. There was hardly, and there was no Google even when I started out. Just learned on the fly. People would guide you on, what the right exercises are, what not. And yeah, today you can just open a YouTube video and you can learn everything.
Right.
But do it the natural way, do it, put in the hard work. The foundation that you build will hold you in good stead all through your life. So I started, very young. I was always an athlete in school. I was more inclined towards sport than anything else, even academics. I mean, I did well, but I crammed last minute, to be honest. I hated studying. So I was always inclined towards uh, being a sportsman. So this came naturally to me, working out and keeping myself healthy. Yes, there is a benefit of looking aesthetically good as well, but for me, it was always fitness. And I always say, the byproduct of being fit is that you look good,
Yeah.
and your lifestyle, everything gets sorted. When you're living a healthy lifestyle, it becomes a part of you. It's not like, oh man, I'm sacrificing this or I'm sacrificing that. You automatically make the right choices. You don't want to eat rubbish. You don't want to eat fried stuff. You don't want to eat sugar-laden food. So this all happened in course of time as my knowledge evolved, everything evolved, and I try to impart a lot of it on Instagram. Maybe not as much as
Yeah.
people would like to keep asking me, to put out more videos. But I think there's already so much out there.
Right.
Uh, there's a lot of noise in the fitness space. So yeah, I'm going to start something now. I want to start a series of videos where I inspire people to look the best they can at their age. I'm 47, and I believe I look quite good for my age. So I want to tell people what I've done over the years. It's not a overnight thing, like I was saying. It takes time and it takes dedication, a lifetime of dedication. You eat every day, you drink every day, you brush your teeth every day. The same way you have to work out every day, you have to watch what you put into your mouth every day.
It gets a
You're
part of
breathing
your lifestyle.
oxygen. Same
Yeah.
way you have to be very mindful about things. So
Yeah.
yeah, drink a lot of water. One more piece of advice: drink a lot of water,
Right.
and don't drink out of plastic, man.
Right.
Plastic is cancerous. There's microplastics in everything that we're consuming today. So wherever you can cut corners, and not cut corners, but cut down the toxins going into your body, do it. Don't drink from plastic, Bisleri, whatever bottles. I don't touch that. I drink Aquaguard water. I fill it in a copper bottle, or just put it in a glass bottle and drink out of that.
Also, I want to
And
know.
I turn vegetarian.
Okay, nice. Also, I want to
But
know, Ashmit, you're such a big animal activist. You do a lot, especially these animals who cannot speak, cannot say much, but on a day-to-day basis, they also not probably. And I've seen, in fact, a lot of times I also see, they're not treated too well. Especially the stray animals I'm talking about.
yeah.
What do you think as a society we can do, to help in this situation, and a little bit on that? What made you turn towards being an animal activist?
So like I was saying, I turned vegetarian 5.5 years ago. Uh, because of my love for animals. That was the primary reason. Of course, it's much healthier to be vegetarian, and it's much better for the environment as well. Globally, we know that a large part of the problem with global warming is happening because of the effluents released by animal farming. The cruelty aspect apart, it's just bad for the environment. So, yeah, I've always been inclined towards the environment. I was my nature club president when I was in school. And at that time, it was not cool to be associated with nature. In fact, funny story, the entire nature club membership was full of girls. There was, I think, maybe three guys. I was one of them. It was not cool to be conscious of nature, but I was always from a young age. I go about planting trees, X, Y, Z. Um, yeah, coming to your question of how can we be, see, there's going to be conflict. Yesterday I saw a video of a man being bitten by a stray dog. So you have to be aware. I think spreading awareness. If we treat the animals well, they're not suffering from trauma. If we have strays around, we feed them, we give them water, we give them shelter. We don't shoo them away or throw stones at them. They're very loving and caring. They have no desire to be hurting us or to bite us. Any of that. People are scared of dogs. And now cats are more than dogs. There's a lot of cats. At least in Mumbai, there's a lot of
Mhm.
cats around everywhere. And people are like, oh no, they're dirty, they're this, they're that. I'm like, no, they're not. They're actually the cleanest animals. So I think building awareness amongst community, amongst your people is important. I try to do that. I have a lot of like-minded friends also who spread the awareness through their WhatsApp groups or through social media. I try to do that too. I'm a part of many groups, awareness groups, which go around, creating that awareness so that people don't actually be cruel to them. And I understand a lot of people have this fear. My own parents are not very comfortable with dogs or cats or any animals in general. So, growing up, we never had any pets. I had two cats when I lived on my own. But yeah, I think just awareness is important, and conflict's going to happen. It's how we minimize it.
Okay. That's a very nice message. I think awareness is something which is very important in today's time, especially when it comes to animals. So with that, we come to my fun segment, the rapid fire round, just to know you more personally, Ashmit. What do you like in life and things like that? So these are going to be quick answers from your side.
Cool.
The
Do
first
it.
one is going to be, what is your favorite holiday destination where you go to unwind?
I'm here right now in
Okay,
Goa.
that's Goa. Okay, fine.
Goa,
Um,
yeah. It's
if
home away from home for me.
okay, if you consider yourself a good cook, what is that one thing you like to make, which you think you make the best?
Dude, I can only cook up a storm, but yeah, I'm the worst cook on the planet. But
Okay.
I would love to be able to cook a really amazing dal. I'm a completely home food kind of a ghar ka khana kind of a person, and I think I judge a good cook based on the quality of their yellow, simple dal. So if
Okay.
I were to be a good cook, I would like to make a really amazing dal. It's a complete meal. Dal chawal has the entire amino profile of protein that you need. So I love dal chawal. I can live off it. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. If I had nothing else, if I could choose one thing to eat all my life, it would be dal chawal.
Okay. Uh, if you had to do your next project what genre would you choose between romance, thriller, horror? Which is your favorite genre of work?
Comedy. I want to do a comedy. In fact, I am doing one starting May. It's actually a regional film. I won't divulge too many details, but it's a comedy film. It's one of the first few comedy films I'm doing. I've had films which have had comedy in it, but I per se have not had to do the comedy part. So I'm really excited
Okay.
about this. This is a situational comedy. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Okay. Your favorite genre of music and which is your current
Of
favorite
music.
track? Yeah, your favorite genre of music and your current favorite track.
So growing up, like I said, it was psytrance. But my tastes have evolved. Techno came into India maybe 15, 20 years ago. It took me a while to get used to the slower tempo of techno. Being a psytrance lover, it was a much slower genre. But I like melodic techno now and all electronic music, house, Afro house, all of it. I love it. And depending on my mood, during the day, maybe a little chill lounge, Afro house in the evening towards sunset, and then a night little as the evening progresses. If I've got friends over or I'm going out, and a little techno. And I would love to end the night always with psytrance. It gives you that little power. You jump, you dance, you get tired, you come home, you sleep.
Uh, Amongst your contemporaries, who do you think is really talented in today's time and who you admire a lot?
As DJs,
No, as an actor
or as,
or a
as
DJ,
actors?
whichever. Yeah.
Oh man, the amount of acting talent that has emerged thanks to the OTT space is unbelievable. So I really can't pick one person because every time I put on a new show, there are new faces who are just tremendous.
Right.
It's such a boon for not just actors, but directors, writers, because you can now explore different genres of uh, cinema, which you couldn't when it was just films or films which were releasing on in theaters, because you had to cater to larger,
Yeah.
uh, I guess, a larger group of people. You had to cut across. The commercial masala film was important because then you would cater to a larger audience.
Right.
But with OTT, you can cater to a specific niche audience, and you can make genres which previously were not possible. So I'm just so impressed with all the talent that's coming out in every show that I watch.
Okay.
It's unreal.
Your favorite motto which you stand by?
Ah, I have a lot of alphabetical mottos. So there's this 3F philosophy that I had when I was going through some challenges in my life when I was younger, which was basically a understanding that nothing else matters other than your friends and family. No one, you don't have to bother about proving yourself or clarifying things or justifying things to the world. There's always going to be naysayers. There's always going to be trolls. Uh, there's always going to be negative people trying to spew their venom onto you. So just bother about your friends, your family, fuck the rest. So that's the 3F philosophy. Then there's the P philosophy: perseverance, patience, perspiration, the all the P's that you can think of,
Okay.
which are very crucial and critical if you want to make a success of yourself in life. So yeah, these are kind of the two things that I. And then when it comes to fitness, your body's your temple. Worship it.
Right. And my last rapid fire question would be, according to you, the main difference between the millennials and Gen Zs of today?
I have no clue, bro. They all seem as confused as all of us. I mean, their challenges are crazy. They've grown up in social media,
Yeah.
in a social media world. I feel for them. I feel for all of them. I don't know. It's crazy. I
But I
have
think
no idea what the difference is.
But I think it can be a blessing and a curse, right? Because I think
Oh, absolutely.
at our time, we had the level of patience, but I think that today's time, the level of patience is also very limited when it comes to, even if you're starting a new business or you're starting anything in life, they want quick results, which, I feel that, the patience somewhere is lacking, which we probably had during our time.
Absolutely.
So that
It's
is
the
very,
era of quick commerce. Everything's at the tip of your fingers. You can order anything. You can just check anything. Like I said, today you just have, you want some information, you want to learn something. Everything's out there on the internet. You just put on a YouTube video, Google whatever you want. AI is now here,
right.
Gemini, Chat
Yeah.
GPT, all of that.
Yeah.
So there's a wealth of information out there. So like you correctly said, it's a blessing and a disguise. The blessing is you can learn whatever you want just sitting at home. You can work from home. I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
You're in Calcutta. I'm in
Yeah.
Goa.
Yeah.
The world is so small, it's so connected. But at the same time, the pressures that this generation has to go through, like you correctly said, they looking to be successful overnight because the competition is so swift. You want
Yeah.
to, a lot of people end up taking shortcuts, which is why I said even with the fitness space, give it time. Things don't happen overnight. You need to put in the hard work, build your foundation. So yeah, it's tough. It's striking the balance again is where it's important. So always middle path, like the Buddha always said, middle path.
All right, that comes to the end of the episode. I want to thank Ashmit. It's been such an amazing chat with you, and especially a lot of the youth, especially watching our episode, will get to learn and get inspired by your journey. You've done so much in life, and wishing you all the very best, all the success, and for all your future endeavors. So keep
Thank you,
shining,
sir. I
buddy,
wish you the same.
and look forward to seeing you on the other side.
Yeah, absolutely. Great chatting with you, bro.
Yes,
Take
take
care.
care. Bye.
God bless.